How many headlines have you read about cuts in public education spending because of state and local budget deficits? Probably too many. A new study conducted by Beacon at Salisbury University has basically concluded that public education spending is a necessary investment.
When we look at public investment in education, K through 12 education, many a time we make the mistake of concentrating just on the cost of what we spend as a county, as a state, as a nation. But it is more than that expenditure. It's actually an investment in business, economic, and community development. We cannot even mention a good economy. We cannot mention a great community without having a great education system in place. So every investment we make in education is actually one of the most infrastructure investments we make in our future.
The county needs a trained, educated, and productive workforce, and that starts right here in our classrooms.
This is easy to understand in a narrative, but with this study we were able to prove it quantitatively. We were able to show the dollars and cents of the value of this investment. In fact, when you look at the whole gamut of public investments, there are only two investments that return this big a return on investment. One is transportation infrastructure investments. You need the roadways to be able to make commerce happen. But even more important than transportation investment, you need the soft infrastructure, the people power that powers our economies, and that is education. A trained and trainable workforce, an educated workforce, professionals that make things happen, create wealth, the creative class. This is all coming from that public investment in education, and it is a huge return.
Every dollar invested in education is an investment in our businesses, our economy, our economic and community development. We know that's true here in Wicomico, as we have struggled with financial issues for the past couple of years. We lost more than $14 million over 2 years. That's 10% of our budget. Those are cash dollars. We tried our best to minimize the impact on classrooms, but budget cuts forced the loss of specialists and sports staff. Fewer dollars for textbooks and instructional technology. All that has a major impact on how we can teach our children. We can't expect to see a rapid recovery from these cuts. We will be working closely with the county executive and the county council. We will do this together because we all know how critical education is to the economic health of our community.
In Wicomico County, the estimated annual economic impact of the Wicomico County public school system in fiscal year 2010 to 2011 is more than $348 million. For every dollar spent on public education, there is an additional $1.61 spent in the local economy. Every direct job in the public school system in the county is associated with another 0.98 jobs in the county.
Dollars spent in Wicomico County bring a great return on investment. In fact, Wicomico County is a net gainer with every dollar spent bringing in more than $1 for the local economy. We're glad that Wicomico is a county that attracts employers, workers, families, and shopping. Education is a key part of a successful future.
When we compare public investments in different areas of our communities, we look at usually the dollars and how $1 goes into that particular expenditure. What we really need to look at is the outcomes of that dollar investment. Let me give you a very concrete example. In one particular jurisdiction, we looked at a rule they had in place to replace their garbage trucks every 3.5 to 4 years. They had a schedule. When that schedule hit, they replaced the garbage trucks without any regard to whether that truck was still serviceable, whether a little bit of maintenance could have kept it another year or two on the road. On the other hand, when you look at the education investment, we simply look at that dollar and what we are spending. We should look at what is coming at the other end of that investment. Should we replace that garbage truck every 3.5 years, or should we keep it another 2 years and keep that saving to invest more in education? These are the kind of value judgments that decision makers have to make, and our study gives them the tool with the dashboard to be able to make those decisions, to be able to see the outcomes of their investments, to be able to compare the relative value of each dollar they spend in different categories. That is one of the clear values of this study.
We work with every student to help them perform to the very best of their abilities. Children arrive at our door with many different needs. Students come to us with dozens of native languages other than English. Some require special education services to succeed. Some perform well beyond grade level and challenge us to differentiate our instruction to keep them growing and learning at their pace. Some need the nutrition they get at school because their family income is too low for adequate food supplies at home. We want all of our students to perform above average. That takes great teachers and support staff, resources, and funding for education.
And just as we learned in school, you can't fight the facts. And the fact of the matter is that a decline in public education spending will actually prompt a reduction in the economic vitality on the Eastern Shore.
If we're going to prepare our students to compete for the opportunities that are out there beyond graduation, we need to do better than ranking 19th, 20th, and 21st in the state in areas like teacher pay, supply funding, and support levels. Secondly, if it helps a student, let's do it. Because if it helps a student, it's going to help our community and our economy. Thank you.